You're watching Cartell TV and I'm Amelia.
A few months back, I reviewed last year's MX-5 RF and I loved it. I loved the new look, lightweight body, driving dynamics, I even loved the engine. Although these modern turbos with little to no lag would probably make the car absolutely beastly.
Yes, I know, purists will be having seizures now. Sorry.
I also loved the encompassing interior and the feel of being connected to the road.
Honestly, every new drive in the MX-5 makes it clear why this is the best sold roadster in the world. And no, it's not because it's affordable. Well, relatively affordable. Anyway, now I have the 2019 Mazda MX-5 RF GT.
The GT adds some cool features as standard, and the new version also includes some tweaks, which makes this a far more upmarket car than the lower level trim.
The previous one was great to drive, and this one is also great to drive, as well as being great in pretty much every other respect. And here's why.
For the design, not much has changed since the previous review. It's still a beautiful car with sleek lines.
I still love this side view the most, and I'd say it's probably the best in the industry today. Did you hear that, car? This side is your best side.
This added section behind the windows really adds to the overall harmony of the side, especially with the roof up.
It seems that the main idea was exactly that, harmony.
Individual parts are nice, but in no way special. The bulges on the wheel arches are perfectly sized, headlights are modern, and the grille is very low, while the rear hosts stylish taillights and not much else.
But all these things put together translate to a very beautiful and very harmonious creation.
The GT adds some extra perks like adaptive LED headlamps, dedicated 17-inch alloys, auto-dimming rearview mirrors, and more on the inside and on the safety front.
But let's have a look under the bonnet first.
The GT version comes with a 2-litre only.
But frankly, I don't see why anyone would go for the 1.5, which is the alternative in lower trims.
The latest version of the SkyActiv engine adds a bit more power for the total numbers of 135 kilowatts of power and 205 newton meters of torque. With a car that is about 1,080 kilograms heavy, this is plenty of power. This one is paired with a 6-speed SkyActiv manual, and in this guise, it consumes 6.9 litres per 100 kilometres.
When it comes to drive, the MX-5 is really meant to be on twisty roads, where it has significant push and unparalleled agility.
Front mid-engine setup gives amazing weight distribution. Lightweight body gives nimble direction changes. Rear-wheel drive eliminates understeer, and precise steering provides dexterity, rarely seen in cars in this price range.
This really is a driver's car in every sense. And with the extra 17 kilowatts of power over the model I reviewed previously, it's only better.
All the other driving perks are still present, such as drive-by-wire throttle, incredible steering setup, powerful brakes, limited slip diff, and amazingly befitting suspension. Once again, the MX-5 is amazing to drive.
So does it need a turbocharger? Well, it's not so much that it needs it as much as I would like to see one, particularly as an option in the higher trim.
The fun factor in the MX-5 is guaranteed, even without forced induction. With it added, it would be basically the same in most areas, but with more push in the straight line.
It also wouldn't be as forgiving to drive, but that's common with most drivers' cars.
The interior is snug, and the fact that it's so small makes it feel private, for the lack of a better word.
Taller drivers will still struggle with space, but the addition of the telescopic steering wheel makes better use of the space and it gives more options for adjustments.
This GT version of the MX-5 adds some needed luxury perks like the Bose premium stereo with 9 speakers and beautiful leather seats.
The materials are also better in the GT, and it's a noticeably more pleasant car to be in.
The smaller cabin has a benefit to it as well.
Saying that everything at hand is an understatement.
The steering wheel is perfectly sized and tilt and telescoping now. The gear lever is very close to the steering wheel, and centimetres ahead you'll find climate controls and the infotainment screen.
The only reason why you would need to stretch in this car is to close the passenger door from the driver's seat. Otherwise, everything is right exactly where it should be.
And you know what's best? It doesn't feel cluttered. For example, in many larger cars, you will see that the gear lever obstructs access to climate controls.
Not in the MX-5. Everything is perfectly sized and measured so that the small area is used in the best way possible without being cluttered.
Really, this is an exercise in practicality and proper use of space. And it looks good too.
Bad things? Well, the infotainment unit could be a bit more modern, and for some reason, it still lacks Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, Mazda has added these to other new models, but not the MX-5. Boo. Look, for those of you who really want them, we were told that dealers could fit them afterwards, probably for an additional price. Boo again.
Still, I haven't missed my phone for a minute when on twisty roads in this car. But now for the biggest downside? remember the practicality I mentioned earlier?
It's very well thought out, but only if we don't take storage into account. Oh, and the cup holders are still weird and their placement is terrible. I mean,
Small storage spaces are, well, very small. There is no glove box, central console bin is not very big, and the boot has only 127 litres of space and a high loading lip.
and we couldn't seem to get to the boot without closing the roof first, which was fairly annoying. But if the lack of storage space and impracticality gets to you, just take the car for a drive up and around the hills and you just try wiping that smile off of your face.
The previous RF was good when it came to safety, and the RF GT is only better. It comes with advanced keyless entry and start, ABS, blind spot monitoring, driver attention alert, dynamic stability control, EBD, emergency brake assist, hill start assist, lane departure warning, rear parking sensors, rear cross traffic alert, reversing camera, side impact door beams, smart city brake support for the forward and reverse, traction control, traffic sign recognition and tyre pressure monitoring.
The Mazda MX-5 soft top starts at $38,000.
But this MX-5 RF GT will set you back just over $50,000.
So all in all, the latest version of the Mazda MX-5 RF GT is exactly as I thought it would be. Very fun to drive.
I based the opinion on the previous year RF I drove, and I thought this one could only get better. It is.
It's more powerful, has more equipment, better materials, and is a great example why the MX-5 philosophy has stood the test of time with ease. And this is from a lady who loves turbos. Thanks for watching Cartell TV. Now make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that little notification button so that you know when the latest video is up and running. Straight to your inbox. Boom.